The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 at Hallmark, trying to go three wide, no one will let them.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14, it's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it? Walker Thomas.
Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win. Hello and welcome race fans back to Primetime Racing TV here tonight with the Rivalry Racing League, their national championship truck series here tonight from Texas Motor Speedway, 250 miles. But before we get into tonight's action, here's a recap from last week. And we're back, race fans. Hope you enjoyed that recap from last week. That was from the Phoenix / ISM Raceway. Well, here today at Texas, these guys just getting done with qualifying now. And, well, joining me in the booth tonight, as always, I'm Brandon Krutz. Got Evan Black and Corey Silva. Corey Silva doubling as our tech producer every night. And behind the scenes, as always, is Joe Chris. So, all of us here at the PTR crew ready to bring you some good action here tonight.
And most certainly the Rivalry Racing League, college football league that we do cover. Always a good race, some clean, hard competition, but we will skip the banter and get right to the starting lineup because qualifying has just concluded. Without further ado, here is your PTRT starting lineup here from the Texas Speedway for the Rivalry Racing League. On tonight's poll with a lap time of 34.58 seconds is David Weishart. We offer him our congratulations on that lap. Garrett Grant on the outside pole. Starting in row 2 is Bryant Ward with Travis McDaniel in 4th position. Then we have Ricky Fagone in 5th, Tim Rosono in 6th, Robert Victory 7th, Joseph McWhorter 8th, and rounding out your top 10, Oaks and Harry.
Matthew Wilson back, rolling off in 11th. Richard Holland in 12th. Davis Richard in 13th. Chris Seidenfelden to his outside. Mike Taylor in 15th. Shed Martin in 16th. And then rounding out the rest of the top 20, we got Brooke Potts, Patrick Howard, and Jason O'Connor. Only 19 trucks here tonight, so still pretty good sized field, so should have a pretty good race.
Folks, that is your starting grid here on PTR TV. 19 trucks ready to take to Texas Motor Speedway for 250 miles here tonight. 167 laps. These guys ready to go, and we are too. Pace car rolls off. These guys get stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go green flag racing.
Certainly another exciting night of racing here on PTR TV. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and checking out, obviously, the channel and the race. So like and subscribe if you have not done so. Make sure you don't miss a minute of the action here on the channel. Without further ado, the race is underway.
These guys will get one pace lap around and get ready to go green flag racing. Dr. David Weishart here starting on the pole, hearing that name from putting on a clinic for these guys week after week. He dominated Phoenix, dominated the week before. But see if he can do it again. These guys going to be rolling down through turns 3 and 4 under pace speed. They'll pull in. Pace car pull in this next time by 21, David Weishart on pole. 42 right beside him on his outside. These guys ready to get going for 250 miles around the Texas Motor Speedway. Pace car going to be pulling in this time by ready to go. Pace cars off. 19 trucks ready to go. Green flag racing at Texas. They're underway. Green flag is in the air.
42 of Garrett Grant got a really good start there. He's going to have a slight advantage going to 1, but 21 on Weishart will have the bottom, so he should be able to clear out 2.
With the shorter distance around the speedway, the 21 does get the position. 42 kind of bobble him there off the white line, lost a little bit of time. Again, everyone has singled out for the top 10 spots, a little bit of battling later on in the field.
Everyone up around the top 10 has kind of singled out now. Looks like 68 falling in a line ahead of these guys. Now 29 is going to be side by side with the, looks like the 51 machine, and the 8162 going to be next to each other behind them. The only 2x2 battles going on right now. Almost a little bit of contact heading down to turn number 1.
Yeah, 29 of Welsenbeck just about cut off the 51 and then realized he was there at the last second, but 3 wide down the backstretch.
Almost looking to go 4 wide down into turn number 3. Gonna think twice about it. He had the room, didn't want to chance it. Couple, looks like the 29 machine on the apron a little bit there, trying to save his race truck. Good job by those guys. Still gonna be side by side.
Corner number 1 we go. Battle for position here, entering the turn. Looks like the 68 will finally clear for the spot, rather the 29 clears for the position. Excuse me, off the corner, single file. That battle is over with. Go back up front just a little bit and see Travis McDaniel in the 2 machine, stalking the back bumper of Bryant Ward.
Got a battle going on for the 9th position. Brandon Stokes and Richard Holland. They're side by side through the quad oval, now down into turn 1. 31 of Holland on the inside, 11 Stokes outside. And it looks like out of 2, the 31's going to get the run.
Richard Holland, a winner at Dover a couple races ago, so he is already locked into championship picture as he is still undergoing the side-by-side battle, but will finally get the spot off turn number 4.
Stokes and Holland battled it out. Looks like Holland's going to walk away with that position. That was for the 9th position. They were battling it out. Stokes still right on his back. Bumper, almost a shot down into turn number 1.
As they're off the back straightaway, it does look like the 31 is kind of gaining a little bit of space over the 11 machine, so that battle will be over with, but I see some action going on later in the field right now. We have the 81 of Mike Taylor all the way to the top of the racetrack that allowed Phil Gary in the 68 to get by, who is also battling with, who is that, the number 41, I believe, Chet Martin right behind this battle.
Some close quarters racing kind of going on back here outside of the top 10 now. The latter half of the field back here. 68 looks like he's going to start to pull away a little bit. Looks like a couple of guys starting to get really tight off the corners, though.
Yeah, tire wear will come into play here at Texas. A lot of the mile-and-a-half circuits on iRacing are very conducive to tire wear and drop-off, so as we're kind of expecting a green flag flare tonight, we'll see who is the better one to save tires, but I'll tell you guys, up front, we're used to Weishart pulling away by a extreme gap, but Grant is hanging on with him.
But is Garrett Grant burning up his tires trying to stay with Weishart, or are they both trying to save a little bit? There's the question.
Yeah, we'll have to find that out as the run progresses, but we want to give a quick shout out. We didn't get to do it earlier in the race to our camera specialist here tonight. We have our special cameras from TrackCams for Gourmets. If you like the views you do see, check them out, trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams. But off of turn number 2.
Contact between a 29 to 51.
Also a battle for the 2nd position. Travis McDaniel bump drafting the 44 down the back straightaway. Takes a look underneath him entering turn number 3. That's going to be a side-by-side battle for 3rd.
Out of 4, Ward and McDaniel side by side down the front stretch. McDaniel just trying to get to his quarter panel. I think Ward will have cleared by the time to get to 1, but will the 2 of McDaniel try and dive it down in there? Yes, he will. Still side by side through 1 and 2.
Heading through turns 1 and 2, now to 44, maybe going to duck back behind. No, maybe a little bit of a crossover, not going to make it work down the backstretch. Looks like he has a run heading down into turn 3. He's going to hold behind McDaniel.
44 kind of running about a lane up there just for a brief moment in 3 and 4. I wonder if he missed his mark perhaps, or if he's maybe trying to find something already early in this race. But regardless of that, move the 2 into the 3rd spot. And I'll tell you, that little bit of battling has brought a couple other drivers. We have Ricky Fago and Tim Braceno and Joseph Agorda right behind these guys.
And Corey, you were just talking about the 42 being able to stay with Weishart. Now he is starting to drop off back to just over 0.6 of a second off the back bumper of Weishart.
So let's that'll kind of cue the PTR TV battle tracker. We'll see at the stripe who indeed has the faster, or how much faster those drivers are running.
And McDaniel's going to be all over Garrett Grant by the time they get to turn 1. The 42 has been really tight off these corners, especially 4. And McDaniel's been making a run of it for it out too.
But I'll tell you, Evan, that Garrett Grant was 0.3 of a second slower than Weishart that last time by, and that's quite evident with the fact that the 2 machine, as you said, all over him. He's going to take a look here into 3 and 4, all the way to the bottom. You can see how high up the track the 42 running, but McDaniel hit the white line there. That cost him some speed, and the 42's hanging on.
Yeah, McDaniel got a little bit free when he hit that white line, lost some time, so now into 1. We'll see if he can get by him, going through the center 1 and 2 now. But it looks like 42 is going to go tight, and the 2 will be able to clear.
But boy, I'll tell you guys, if someone's going to put up a fight against David Weishart, if he gets up there, Travis McDaniel in the 2 car will be the guy to do it. We know he has the speed week after week. He just got to be able to get up there to fight.
Now he has that open track all the way up to Weishart, so we'll see if he'll be able to catch up to him.
Yeah, he does have the clear track, but he already has 1.4 seconds that he is going to have to make up, so that is going to be a little bit of a feat. But Someone who is about to lose some positions is the 20, Ricky Fagone. He does have Bryant Ward and Tim Rasono right behind him. He's stacking up about 4 trucks, so let's see if he is going to be able to hang on to that 5th position.
The 44 was looking under him before, but also a little bit of momentum. I think he had his nose chopped off just a little bit. Now the 10 truck going to be looking underneath the 44 machine. The 32 also back there as well. Fagone was, I think, kind of holding those guys up a little bit, but now the 42's kind of drifted back to him.
Here we come into turn number 3. That battle is about to take shape. 44 Ward to the top, the 10 of Racino to the bottom, but nothing doing this time by, but that's going to open the door for McWhorter in the 32. Looks low, looks high. Can he get the outside to work here in the quad oval entering 1?
Going down in turns number 1 and 2. 32 diving it in on the outside, but he's going to hit those bumps through the center of the corner, and he's not going to be able to hang there.
Yeah, Texas Motor Speedway, we are obviously on the older configuration of it. We know in the real world it was repaved and kind of has asymmetrical corners, has a flatter, wider turn 1 and 2, but kind of the standard 3 and 4. But with this older version and the bumps, especially in 1 and 2, I know, Evan, you'll know this better than Brandon. We know how much those can upset the truck.
Yeah, you hit those bumps, usually it will just get the car tight where the front end does not want to stick, but the 10 is still trying to get underneath that 44 out of turn number 2.
Heading down the back straightaway now. The 44's looking still up on a higher lane. The 10 truck dives it down into the bottom of the racetrack. Maybe drifts up a little bit. Nearly a little bit of contact between those two drivers. 44 Ward gets a little bit loose down off of turn number 4. He's going to hold the position.
Very impressive. I mean, it only is about a lane difference, but it seems that upper groove is already kind of showing some merit. You can see the 44 starting to hold off, and just ahead of this, another battle going on. That is with, who is that?
Fagone and the 42 of Garrett Grant for the 3rd position.
And I had thought the 20 was dropping back, but quite the contrary. He's actually on his way up, trying to get the 3rd position here. Lost a little bit off of turn number 4, but again, that 20 is actually headed in the positive direction.
Garrett Grant, however, is heading in the negative direction as these guys head down through turns 1 and 2. The 20 machine stalking him now, almost up to his back bumper once again. He tried it once, he'll try it again, trying to make the pass around that 42 machine.
Now the 20 is looking to the outside, trying to get to his quarter panel. Not going to be able to, but the 42 got a little bit loose. They're out of 4, so the 20 Fagone is going to be looking underneath him down the front stretch.
Extremely heated battle here. We're 19 laps into a 167 lap race, so these guys don't want to show their stuff too much yet, but we see how far those leaders are already pulling away. They want to have a shot at it. They cannot fall too far back.
Yeah, McDaniel is starting to close in on our leader of Wildstart. He's got it down to only about 0.8 of a second.
Last time by, of the top 5 drivers, McDaniels was about 0.2 faster than your leader, and at least 3 to 4 tenths faster than anybody else, so that 2 machine is on a mission. But here is the battle for 3rd yet again. 20 for going to the inside, Grant to the outside. Can Grant make that outside stick? This is where the bumps are going to affect him, and you can see he did not get through them very well. 20 to P3.
So now let's see if the 20 Fagone has anything for those front 2. And they have some clean track now.
But something that we don't want to forget about here, we want to make sure that we give the 21 of David Weishart the credit he deserves. He's out front by a dwindling gap, but it is absolutely incredible the stomping he's had on this field this early in the season, guys.
Yeah, he's had a really good job, or he's done a really good job early in this season, so we'll see if he can keep it up. He's
already led of about the 600 approximate laps we've run this season. He's already led 400 laps up in the year 600 on the schedule, but he's about to run out of those laps apparently because Travis McDaniel, he wants to get some more laps on the lead board, so here he comes right to the back bumper battle for the lead.
Heading down into turn number 1, now down through turn number 2. Travis McDaniel right up to the back bumper of David Weishart. Maybe a little bit of a shot to the back bumper, bumping him down the back straightaway. Now heading down into turn number 3. The 2 machine will dive it down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get under the 21 machine.
Weishart is really struggling off these corners. He's just getting tight and cannot get the throttle down. So the 2 of McDaniel will clear for the lead. So now I believe he should be able to pull away.
Travis McDaniel, I knew if anybody could put up a fight against David Weishart, it would be the driver of that number 2 machine. He's showing speed week after week. David Weishart obviously showing that he's been very fast here, but Travis McDaniel wanting some time in the sunlight here.
And the sunlight, the spotlight?
Sunlight, spotlight, same thing.
Sure, we'll go with
light.
it. So that is the lead change here, but we'll go focus back on the battles that we were watching earlier. There still is some stuff going on. Back with Richard Holland, remember the 31 machine, he is under fire from the number 10 machine. That is Tom Rossano in the 10, all over to the inside. Joseph McWhorter, he had 3 trucks under a blanket off turn number 2. Down the back straightaway we go.
32 of McWhorter is looking underneath that number 10 machine now down into turn number 3. I think the 10 has the preferred line, but 32 is going to slide up a little bit. 10's given no room, now sliding up the track, so the 32 will clear for the position.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit tight down out of turn number 4. Now, here comes the number 7 machine of Robert Victory as well. The 7 machine wanting a couple positions on him.
10 got a little bit high out of turn 2. That's going to allow the 7 to get right to his back tailgate. Down in the back straightaway, getting ready to go into turn number 3. We'll see if that 7 can get by him.
Guys, something else I do want to note, Brandon, sorry for cutting you off, that we can already see 25 laps into this race. Look at the groove, guys. It is already starting to take shape and rubber in. We know how much that can affect the racing.
And also, these drivers up front have already fallen off 2 seconds from where they started at.
Yeah, I think tires are going to be big here, guys, and I think short pitting will definitely be a thing here tonight. And I think if some of these guys play it right, it could be their chance in victory lane.
But Corey, what do you kind of think the fuel window is going to be here tonight?
Well, with the fuel load, I think we're going to have, well, actually, I'm going to cut us both off here. We have a pretty good battle going on, guys. That is the 4th spot. Bryant Ward and Garrett Grant, they're side by side with Richard Holland stalking both bumpers, trying to figure out where he needs to go.
Garrett Grant down on the inside.
Richard Holland!
Richard Holland around on the back stretch.
Oh, boy! Oh, McWhorter almost involved!
Tim out of caution.
Caution flag is in the air. Richard Holland, heavy contact at the inside wall. Almost, I don't know how McWhorter was not involved in that mess. Awesome avoidance.
Now we'll go here on the primetime replay. You can see here off of the corner just a little bit of a wiggle, and it was just fishtailing down the entire straightaway. Was never able to save it, and then a huge hard cut into the infield wall there on the back straightaway. And that looks like it will be terminal damage, but we didn't get to talk about the race format here. There is 1 backup truck available, so he does have a chance to take the truck out of the hauler and take another stab at this race.
Guys, our first caution of the night. Looks like everybody going to be making their way down into pit lane.
You cannot obviously risk anything with the tire wear we do have tonight, so everybody comes to the attention of their pit crews here. Good, almost 30 lap run should give you a very good indication of what to expect here with your trucks.
2, Travis McDaniel overshot his pit stall. So he's going to lose a little bit of time from that.
Remember what we talked about with tire conservation and how he was able to pass Weishart later in that run. It looks like Weishart, due to that mistake, is going to get the battle off pit lane. So we're going to have to figure out, did Weishart maybe figure out what he did wrong and perhaps try to save tires better? Or is McDaniel just going to have to kind of be the long run driver and just get him as the runs progress?
So what we were talking about before that caution came out, Corey, how long do you think the fuel window will be here tonight at Texas?
Well, we do have full fuel loads in these machines, so a fuel run will be about 50 to 55 laps, but I just can't really foresee any scenario with the drop-off why we'd be doing that, so I'm going to say these drivers would pit naturally between 30 and 40 laps.
So, with the mistake from McDaniel, the 21 machine, David Weishart, back up at the front of the field. Behind him is Richard Fagond. Or Ricky Fagond, excuse me.
We did not get to bring up the point standings in our pre-race show, so kind of run through the top 5 quickly. We have David Weishart as your points leader at this point in the season. Enjoys a 13-point lead over Bryant Ward. And then we have Travis McDaniel in the 3rd spot. Joseph McWhorter 4th in points. 5th position in points is Robert Victory at the moment. Those drivers separated by about 28 points, so a little bit of a spread as the season is starting to take shape here. David Weishart, your leader, has already won 2 races this season, making his presence known. Travis McDaniel is a race winner, and Richard Holland is a race winner here, so we'll see what the case is tonight. Who has the trucks to perhaps snag a win and lock yourself in the playoffs, but the lights are out on the pace car, so we will get back racing.
These guys get stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back. Green flag racing here for the first restart of the night.
David Weishart back up there on the front row once again for this restart. We have Ricky Fagond to his outside.
So again, David Weishart up at the front of this thing. Ricky Fagond next to him. So, pace car ready to make its way down into pit lane this time by, and as the field gets ready to take the green, we're going to let you feel the thunder here on this restart. So, hope you guys enjoyed that one, as we've got a battle going on back here for, looks to be the 6th position, or the 5th position back here. Garrett Grant and Bryant Ward fighting for a position back here. Looks like, as I say, that battle will come to an end, but looks like Robert Victory maybe going to be knocking on the back door of the 44 machine.
Yes, indeed. Robert Victory is starting to move up here in the race, just a couple positions. Actually, this is the highest he's been all race. I'll take that back on my fact sheet here.
That's where he started.
The 7 started in 7th, highest running 7th in the 7th truck, so he should go buy himself he should go buy himself a scratch ticket. But off of the corner, still in the 7th position. Looks like he's lost a little bit of time off of Bryant Ward. but he needs to watch out because Brandon Stokes in the 11 is trying to change up his line here a little bit to try to get a run.
Yeah, the field with these guys being stacked back up once again. They're trying to get in any position that they can. Here comes the 32 machine diving on the bottom of the racetrack that time by, but not going to make anything of it. Brandon Stokes in the outside wall. Contact the outside wall down the back straightaway.
To maybe get by him going into 3.
Yeah, you can see
32.
You can see the right front damage to the 11, just a little bit of crinkled fender there, and nearly into the wall off of 4. He's obviously kind of really needs to tame those corner exits a little bit to avoid any further contact. Again, almost in the wall in turn 1 as well.
Yeah, I think he did get the wall there entering 1. If he didn't, it was very close.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of sparkage there, if you will. Now heading down the back straightaway, still trying to fight the 32 machine. Now, Joseph McWhorter looks like he's going to clear Stokes. Trying to maybe pull across over the inside. Not going to work. Looks like that race truck is really tight for him right now.
Guys, we need to focus on 4th and 5th right now. Garrett Grant is absolutely all over the back bumper of Tim Rosono in the 10 machine. Was almost bump drafting him through the quad oval here. He's trying a little bit of a different apex there in the corner. Late apex, trying to get the run off the corner exit down the back straightaway. Still can't get the run, but he is right there.
Looks like he will get a pretty good run down the back stretch, but not quite close enough to make a dive for that 4th position.
Caution on the speedway.
Back straightaway looks like, yeah, the 89
Patrick
machine.
Howard.
He got some airtime.
Not just because he's going to be on the replay.
Oh, man, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's a
heavy contact inside wall.
Yeah, that was just...
Oh, man.
And then he almost got hit there on the back straightaway. Someone was rushing by him there, trying to get caught up to the field, but that will be a 2nd caution of the race, and given the tire wear tonight, I'm assuming we're going to see these guys back down pit lane.
We will see. It looks like, yeah, pretty much everyone will come down pit road.
I would not imagine any kind of tire play going on. 4 tires would be the recommended call for most of these drivers, so we expect that to be the case, and see if everyone can nail their pit stalls. Remember, we saw Travis McDaniel miss his pit stall last time by a couple inches. That ended up costing him some time.
We got a car around on pit road. The 81 of Mike Taylor. He spun out on pit road. Hit the inside pit wall.
Oh, man.
Let's see if we can pitch that quickly here. You think he had too much rear brake locked in it or something there?
Looking at it, he's heading down pit road.
I think he just didn't realize his stall was right there.
Yeah.
It's kind of a late entry. And then probably just got on the brakes a little too much trying to get that thing slowed down.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened, Devin. I don't think he realized that his stall was right there in front of him, and he tried to crank it on in, hitting the brakes, and it didn't work out for him very well. Break for him.
So like a few drivers staying out. Richard Holland and Joseph McWhorter.
Actually, Evan, they took 2 tires based on what I can see.
Something to point out, and I don't think it'll affect him too much. Joseph McWhorter in the 32 does have a little bit of front-end damage. Just the smallest of dents I noticed in the front grille area there, but I don't think that'll affect him too much here, if at all.
Yeah, I don't think there's quite enough damage to affect him, but we'll see around this restart.
Lap 41 has been completed. We'll be taking lap number 42 here for the green flag. Top 2 on older tires on the left side. They took 2 tires on the last stop, 4 tires is in the second row on back, so we'll see what happens here. I think the 32 wants to take the top of the racetrack. Looks to be confirmed, so your control car will be the 32 on the top groove. We'll have Richard, oh, actually, there's, never mind, Corey's a lap ahead of the game. I'm just so excited for a restart. I'm a lap early.
Yeah. Didn't you call the white flag early once?
Yeah, I mean, Mark Martin, 1990. We all have our moments. Actually, what would you guys know about 1990?
And it looks like it's been delayed, so you'll have to wait another lap, Corey.
We're trying to get some drivers perhaps onto the lead lap, I do believe, or...
I think we're trying to get Davis Richards back on the lead lap. He dropped connection from the server earlier.
That is something that is in the rule book within the league, where if a driver does have some sort of connection issue and does lose laps because of that, they will give one opportunity to get them waved around onto the lead lap. So that is, looks like, that does look like is what is happening right now. The 51 getting that kind of that little bit of a free pass, if you will, to get onto the lead lap because of his connection issues. But if it happens again, he will not be so lucky.
Sounds like you're having trouble with English tonight, Corey.
Yeah, you know how I've been. You know how my voice has been the past couple weeks. So.
So, lights should be going out on the pace car this time. And yes, it will.
Still do have all 19 trucks in the race at this point on lap 43. We do have 17 of them on the lead lap. I believe Jason O'Connor, Mike Taylor, and Patrick Howard all off of the lead lap at this point, but it will be interesting to see how these two tires fare. We ran about 10 or so laps, so not a terribly long run, but I think long enough where it may be a little more challenging for those drivers.
But a lot of these guys looked like they were struggling with tight trucks, so taking right side tires usually will free them up. Do you think this might actually help them a little bit?
It very well could. It might be a little over the top loose, but I guess they'll find out the hard way, and we'll find out with you guys here watching this race. So as the pace car is about to take the hard left into pit lane, as the pit lights actually are out this time by, we're going to get ready for a restart here. Pace car into pit lane. We'll wait for Joseph McWhorter to get this race back underway. Loud pedal is being pressed right now. He's backing away. Green flag.
Really good restart by that 32. He really pulled away from the field, but there's a battle for second. Nope, not anymore. David Weishart through the second.
Those two tires on that 31 clearly.
Richard Holland's getting turned.
Oh, big wreck down on a turn number 2.
That is the field right there.
One truck upside down. That's the 2 of McDaniel.
That is the whole field wadded up on the back straightaway.
Third on back.
Oh, no, no.
And we know some of these drivers already had to use
multiple trucks upside down. The 2 machine was upside down. I think I saw someone else get airborne back there.
We know some of these drivers already had to use their fast repair, use their backup trucks, so that may take many of these drivers out, but let's see what happened. It started up front with these older tires on the 31. He got turned by the 2.
Looks like he had a little bit of a bobble.
And that just wadded everybody up. Once the track was blocked, we saw the 68 of Phil Gary managed to sneak through, but that was a significant wreck here tonight. So we'll see as we recollect behind the pace car who is even left.
Only 2 trucks made it through there with no damage. And that's McWhorter and Weishart.
I think Robert Victory may have made it through as well. He does.
It looks like Brooks Potts made it through.
Basically, unless you were up front or you were pretty much last, you were involved in that wreck.
Pretty much.
So, big wreck. I think we're going to take this opportunity to go to a quick side-by-side commercial break. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back with you.
The car behind me is my Chili Bowl midget, the one that I won the Chili Bowl with. And what's interesting about that is it's actually the car that iRacing scanned that's going to be available to all the iRacing members out there.
And welcome back, race fans. The field's stacked up, doubled up, sort of. Ready to go back green flag racing. There they go. Now they're getting nice and lined up for us here. These guys ready to go back green flag racing after a massive wreck down the back straightaway. Pace car a pull in this time by making its way down into pit lane. Off it goes. The field in the hands. Oh, lots of tire spin. Green flag is back in the air. The 32 got a big jump. I thought there was going to be a wreck there off the restart.
32 got really sideways on that restart, but he was able to get a really good jump far away from pretty much everyone else. About a half-second lead already out of turn 2. Almost
couple of
3
guys
wide down
trying
backstretch.
hard. Look at Robert Victory trying to get into second place against David Weishart.
S7 machine doing the best he's done all race, trying to pass the points leader here, see what he can do on the inside line. We know that outside is starting to come in. Drivers are starting to be able to hold their momentum up there. And Weishart putting up a fight. Let's see what happens down the back straightaway.
Weishart got those bumps out of 2 and lost a lot of momentum down the backstretch. Now getting ready to go into turn number 3. 7 has a slight advantage entering the corner. Weishart has the kind of preferred lane now out of 4, and he will get the run.
Victory still on the low side. Weishart up on the high side. This is for the second position, folks. Meanwhile, the 32 of McWhorter is pulled away from these guys.
Yeah,
So Weishart may be able to clear out of 2. He lost a little bit of momentum, but he will have the advantage down the backstretch. And yes, Weishart will clear for the second position.
Look at the line of trucks behind these guys as well. Now Stokes right up to the back bumper of Victory here.
Here he is behind the back bumper of Victory indeed. And then we have Davis Richards right to the back bumper of Stokes. And looks like Richards is about to make a pass here once he gets the opportunity. Lost a little bit of time on corner entry, but let's see if he can recoup it on corner exit.
A pretty good run out of 2 right on the back bumper of that number 11 machine. Getting ready to go now down into turn 3, and it looks like the 11's really pulled away from him on entry, but the 51's getting better exits.
Yeah, that's ultimately what you want, is you want to get that run off corner exit. That is more beneficial for you, but here comes Stokes to the inside of Victory. That is for the 3rd spot. We'll take it to the inside, wash up the track over the bumps, but he is indeed clear. To move him to P3, but watch out, David Weishart is closing in on your leader.
He ran about a 10th and a half quicker last time by at the line. Running quite a bit lower. You can see the line difference now starting to wash up just a little bit out of turn number 4.
Here comes the 21 machine right up to the back bumper to 32 of McWhorter. David Weishart looking to gain that lead back. Now heading down into turn number 1. Drifts out just a little bit on corner entry. Looks like the 32 trying to drive it in deep. That's not going to work for him. David Weishart right to the back bumper. Now pulling to the inside down into turn number 3.
Now down into turn number 3. It looks like the 21 will clear. Yes, he will. Will the 32 try and fight back? He will not be able to.
Absolutely.
But one thing we need to point out is that McWhorter is on 2 tires. We kind of forgot all about that through all that chaos.
Yeah,
he's doing a really nice job of hanging in there.
Yeah, he never pitted on that last caution to kind of get back on a level playing field, so he is still using those exact cards he dealt himself the last time, but something of note as well, McDaniel is only up to the 7th position here. Looks like he is just passing the lap down machine of Matthew Walzenbeck, but we saw McDaniels take the lead there on the long run, but he still has a ways to go.
Yeah, he got some pretty major damage from that really big wreck, so he's had to restart but further back in the field.
So, as you guys were mentioning, the 32 machine doing a really good job. He's hanging in there as of right now with that 21 machine of Wiseheart. Like, he hasn't fallen back that much.
Yeah, last time by he was actually a little bit quicker. Now we'll see at the stripe, Wiseheart back about a tenth or so quicker than McWhorter.
That's still bad.
No, he's hanging right in there. He's doing a really nice job on those two tires.
Oh, contact
on the back stretch. McDaniel, looks like. Nope, it was the 51 of Davis Richards.
These guys bumping and banging, beating each other up back here. The 51, a little bit more damage to that race truck. Now Ricky Fagone goes around him. Man, oh man, I thought that was going to be a wreck.
Here comes Brooks Potts to the inside down the back straightaway, trying to get underneath the 51 of Davis Richards. He will.
Most of the field all singled out now.
Brooks Potts will pass Davis Richards for the 51 in the 51 truck for the 8th position here. Back up front, Wiseheart is only up by about 3/10 over McWhorter, who's doing I guess we said, a very respectable job with those two tires. But here comes Brandon Stokes. I think he's ready to make his name heard. He's about to try to make a battle for second.
Yeah, McWhorter really struggled to get out of 2 last time by, and that allowed Stokes to get right to the back tailgate of that number 32 machine. Now out of turn number 4 down the front stretch. We'll see if Stokes is close enough. He might be able to dive it in there into 1.
Not quite there yet, but yeah, down into turn number 1. He makes a move down to the bottom of the racetrack now. Now going to be side by side. Stokes trying to clear down off of turn number 2. He'll make it work.
Now will Stokes have anything for our leader of Wiseheart? That is the question.
I don't know. I mean, Wiseheart's been so fast already this whole race. It's really hard to tell. The only person that's been able to get up there so far has been the 2 of McDaniel, but McDaniel right now is further back of the pack.
And McDaniel, since I last said, he's up to the 5th position now, so he's picked off a couple spots in just about 3 or 4 laps time, but he's
running a 10th quicker than our leader.
And he's 2 seconds back. We saw on the first run, he is a long run driver. He was able to take the lead about 30 laps into the run, so this is kind of getting to his wheelhouse here. Remember, tires are wearing, so.
And McDaniel restarted at the very back of the field. He was given an EOL penalty, so he's had to pass quite a few race trucks to get up here.
And he does have fresher tires compared to everybody else too. He obviously was involved in that in the big one, so he got fresher tires in that, even if by a few laps, still is some kind of advantage for him.
So, looks like everybody kind of singled out for the most part right now, guys. Don't see any major battles
into the wall, a little bit off 4. Again was the 11 machine. Kicked some sparks up there, but really no harm, no foul, but we saw him do it a couple times already. He had it again off turn 4.
Yeah, so Brandon Stokes, a little bit more contact with outside wall, does pretty good. He's getting really, really close at outside wall every time off these corners, guys. I wonder if that race truck is starting to get really tight on him.
Yeah, it all depends how you drive it, where if you're a little too aggressive on corner entry, you're not going to be able to get off the exit. You're going to burn that right front up. Perhaps that is what's happening to the 11, but he's still running in second, so obviously he's not doing that bad of a job.
Got a little bit of a battle going on for the 3rd position. Robert Victory to the inside of McWhorter down the back stretch. Going down into turn number 3 now with a lap car to their outside. 7, Robert Victory will take that 3rd position. Now McDaniel trying to get by McWhorter for the 4th position. A little bit of contact there.
Now McDaniel in the 2 machine takes a look to the inside in the quad oval underneath Joseph McWhorter. And he will pull side by side in turn number 1. McWhorter will go all the way to almost the 3rd groove here. That is not where you want to be, a little bit too high on the racetrack. And move McDaniel up to the 4th position by a matter of about an inch.
Man, oh man, McDaniel squeezed his way up back in front of McWhorter that last time by, so that'll move Travis McDaniel up and out of their position.
Car in
He's
the wall
got
in the
his
front
eyes set.
stretch. Garrett Grant is going to keep it straight.
Good job to Garrett Grant. Travis McDaniel up to the 4th position, looking to gain the 3rd position
Into
now.
the wall again is the 42.
Oh, man, oh, man.
Now down onto the apron.
Out of the way he is, but here comes Travis McDaniel into the 3rd spot now. He passes Robert Victory, who really got loose in 3 and 4, was all over the white line there. That kind of de-wedged the truck a little bit, so that'll cost him some time.
Quick note, Garrett Grant is coming into pit lane.
Something that I do want to bring up here as we have a little bit of a gap in the action is our Monday show here on PTR TV. We did one of them already. We missed the second one because we got called in the booth to help out our partners there on LSR TV. But The Racer's Mind episode 2 will be airing Monday night at 8 p.m. Our kind of sim racing debate show, conversation, news, all that kind of stuff, and maybe some real world stuff, some off topic if it comes about. So we got some good feedback on the first one, so we're very excited about the second one. So if you have any ideas, things you'd like us to talk about, please let us know, as we have a truck on the wall on the back straightaway. I saw the Joseph McOrder into the wall all throughout the back straightaway.
Hard into the wall.
So he will drop back to the 6th position. Remember, he's still on those 2 tires, but Ricky Fagone into the 5th spot. But yes, again, if anybody has any feedback for our Monday night show, please let us know. We are looking for topics for Monday's show. So again, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, it should be a good time. A few different topics of conversation. Everybody can get involved in our live chat room, and it was a success the first time, I'd say. So always good to do it again. Can't wait to make it an annual thing.
Annual thing?
Annual?
Well, weekly. You know what they say. English is hard.
52 weeks a year versus 1 a year.
There's a slight difference.
Yeah, a little bit.
McDaniel has moved in a 2nd, though.
He
just got by Stokes.
He's only 1.5 seconds off of the lead.
Yeah, so Travis McDaniel moved him up to the 2nd position this time around. The biggest question right now, guys, is can Travis McDaniel catch up to our leader, David Weishart?
I think the answer to that is yes, and it's just a matter of how quickly. Because he's right now a 1.5 seconds back. He's got to get himself into a rhythm, which I'm sure he will. But we're also getting to the point where I would not be surprised if pit stops happen with about 10 laps.
Yep, so looks like everybody's spread out. I will say this with great caution, as I don't expect a caution, but you never know what will happen. We've seen it before. We weren't expecting a 15 truck wreck down the backstretch either, but that happened tonight. And so I won't expect a yellow, at least for a while here, guys. I think with the long run capability of Travis McDaniel and the 2 machine, he should be able to pass Weishart and start to pull away.
Corey, you were talking about pit stop starting soon. The number 20, Ricky Fagone, has already made his pit stop from the 5th position to play a little bit of strategy.
Major short pit, yeah, major short pit from the 20 machine of Fagone, and see if that plays out well for him. We know the difference between fresh tires and old tires here is quite a bit.
Yeah, because Weishart and McDaniel have fallen off already 2 seconds over what they started with.
Yeah, so every lap on the speedway, Fagone is gaining that 2 seconds. So when indeed the leaders begin to pit, there's a very good possibility that this 20 truck could be your leader.
So And I think I had brought this up earlier in the race too, guys, with the right strategy, you could possibly beat out the 21 and the 2.
Yeah, he will.
It could be a long shot, but I think if you play the right strategy with tires, you could do it.
Yeah, most certainly can. We do know how pit strategy can work out. Sometimes people want to stretch the fuel load. Sometimes people want to take the extra pit stop, and it's always interesting to see how it'll shake out and which one will ultimately favor in the end. So that is indeed a possibility. A little bit of a battle here for the 5th position. Joseph McWhorter to the top of the track. We know how damaged he is. He will lose a spot to Brooks Potts in the 50 machine. I think
he got really high through turn 2.
I think he hit the wall again, and if he didn't, he really woed up there. Tell you guys up front, I'm a little shocked that Weishart has not lost his lead faster than he has. He was up by about 1.5 seconds, about maybe 5 or 6 laps ago. And with the
McDaniel started behind a lot of other people, so maybe he burned his tires up trying to get by them.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, Evan. I think McDaniel is at a slight disadvantage. I think he may have used some of his stuff up trying to get through that traffic.
Yeah, obviously starting last and pretty much driving your way up, you're going to have to push that truck, drive it into harder situations than you may have been comfortable with, as we have another pit stop. Joseph McWhorter in the 32 finally comes down to pit road here on lap number 78.
And Joseph McWhorter, for staying out on 2 tires for that long, may I just add, he did a great job in that race machine.
Yeah, I would not have put myself in that spot because I would be unsure if I could hang on to it, but again, very reputable job by the 32 machine, and still waiting for those up front to come in.
Would like to quickly point out a couple of guys have taken it behind the wall. Mike Taylor and Tim Rossetto have both taken it behind the wall. They are done for the night.
Number 10 was a very competitive truck earlier in the race, so that's a tough break for him to be out already, but fortunately that is how racing plays out. So crossing the stripe, that number 21 Louisville Cardinals truck is still up by about 1 second. Looks like his lead has kind of stabilized over the 2 machine, and it's just going to be a matter of green flag stops. And we know 1.5 mile tracks, guys, they're not always the easiest pit entry.
Yeah, absolutely. And very valid point to bring up as well, Corey. Coming into these pit lanes like this, you got to come off the banking, and slowing down before you hit pit road can be tough. You got to warn the guys behind you, because if someone comes through running that low line and they don't quite see you slowing down for pit road, it could be disastrous.
Exactly. I think at this point in the race, with everyone being spread out, that situation may not play about, but is obviously very easy to lose the truck, whether to lock up the brakes, whether to speed on pit road. So that is what we're going to have to watch out for. But the driver who already pitted, Ricky Fagone in the 20, he has passed McDaniels on the track, and he is about to unlap himself in about probably 2 corners. He'll be back on the lead lap as he passes Weishart. And this,
you can just see the difference in speed.
This pretty
got a little loose.
Weishart loose, almost contact with a 20 machine, heading down the back straightaway. Great save by the 21 machine. Man, oh man. That may have allowed the 2 machine of McDaniel to catch up just a little bit more. These guys, we know they gotta come in soon for pit stops.
This pretty much kind of solidifies my point, guys, that Fagone is going to be the leader when this is all said and done. He's the only driver to pit so far, and he is on the lead lap now. We know it costs you about 1.5 laps to pit here. So you just think about the lead he's going to have, but also think about the fact that his tires are going to be pretty worn out relative to the other drivers when they do pit.
He's going to have at least a 10-second lead. But how long will it take for the drivers behind him to catch back up?
Yeah, exactly our points. He's probably about 2 seconds up right now over Weishart, at least. and he's pulling ahead. He's pulling further ahead by about 2 to 3 seconds a lap. So all of this is buffer on the lead he will have, but as you said, they're going to catch him just as fast as he caught past them.
Cross flags will be out this time, by for the halfway mark as well, which is something to point out for everybody.
Okay.
So that is the halfway point of this race. Still waiting for the 21 and the 2 to come on into pit lane.
We'll kind of give our little midway race break right now. We're 85 laps into 167. We've had 4 lead changes, 3 cautions for 12 laps. David Weishart has led the majority of the race, has been up front for 63 laps tonight.
Here comes
Here he comes.
McDaniel's staying out.
That's a risky call by McDaniel, staying out.
He's going to end up losing at least a couple of seconds, guys, I would think.
Maybe he didn't have enough time to pull on the pit lane. He wasn't expecting the 21 to do so, perhaps, but here comes the 21. Looks like it's a nice, smooth pit entry. Nails the pit box, which we know these days is a lot harder to do than it used to be, but...
And here comes McDaniel.
Yep, here he comes. Your race leaders.
Now this will transition the lead to Brandon Stokes, who was completely sideways off forward and throughout the entire quad oval. Looks like
Stokes, I think, has been having a little bit of handling issues on that race truck.
A little bit. So on board here, I mean, the odds have it he'll pit this time by, but we'll see what he's doing, at least for the time being. You can see he's really running right.
Here he comes. Weishart making an avoidance maneuver there.
Because he was all over the place, obviously on significantly aged tires, but this will, as we said, this will throw the lead to Ricky Fagone.
By right now 11 seconds over David Weishart.
And Evan, you pretty much nailed that guess on the dot. I'll give you credit on that one.
Yeah, I said 10, so pretty close.
Do want to also thank those in the chat now. We're getting some very good feedback. Obviously, a lot of growth has been going on here on PTR TV lately, and we have a lot of plans behind the scenes that are extremely exciting to announce, but we're not quite ready to announce them. But I want to thank those who are supporting of the channel, those who like, subscribe, watch us as often as they can. That is what makes the channel what it is. So thanks to everybody for that, and thanks to all the new subscribers as we do attempt to grow this channel.
And man, I'll tell you, we came a long way since late 2016 when I started this thing up, brought Corey on. Now, Corey has majority ownership over the channel, and he's done a very good job so far.
Do I do it? Do I do it? I won't do it. Copyright. Do it. No, I won't do it. We're going to step away here for a quick side-by-side commercial as things have kind of fizzled out just a little bit, so stay with us.
Weishart just got into the 42. So major, some pretty good damage on that 21 machine.
We are going to...
Oh, boy.
We'll cut on replay here before that side-by-side occurs.
That 21's got engine damage.
Oh, my God. That is a significant...
What happened?
Well, we're on PTR TV replay. We'll try to find out together here.
The 42 got into the outside wall right in front of Weishart, and Weishart had nowhere to go.
Weishart has engine damage.
Oh, no.
Yeah, luckily, he should have his...
Yeah, he should have a backup truck.
But
ready to go.
He's going to lose a lap if we don't get a caution here soon.
Man, oh, man.
Yeah, right now, we'll kind of pull up the battle tracker here between first and second, give you a little bit of a relative gap. And Weishart was slower last time by, and given his fresher tires, if he's slower than Fagone on those older tires, you know he's off the pace.
And he's pitting his time.
So major implications in this race. So will David Weishart, who has been the dominating driver, he'll have a chance to get back in it with his fast repair, but he's going to need the benefit of at least 2 cautions.
So he'll probably lose 1 lap if he just comes down and uses his quick repair. Nope, he's going to do tires as well.
But maybe he's going to try to turn this into a strategy ploy. You never know.
He only ran 5 laps, so I really don't see how he could. But
I mean, at this point, he
we'll
knows he's at a detriment, so you might as well make the most of it and see where it can lead you to. So we'll follow you for a little bit, see where everything shakes out with the scoring and where it puts him.
Man, oh man, David Weishart, one of the fastest trucks here tonight, comes away with that damage now in a backup truck. But man, that's I think he'll need a caution to get caught back up here, guys.
And as the scoring completely cycles through, he will be 1 lap down. However, he is the second truck 1 lap down. The 51 of Davis Richards is in the lucky dog spot, but meanwhile, while all this is happening, we're going to start having trucks go a lap down, so he's really going to have to fight to either unlap himself or to stay in the lucky dog spot.
well, the issue for Weishart is he's 13 seconds behind the driver he is racing for that lucky dog.
That's Davis Richards, who is exiting turn number 2 at the moment.
Or at this point, he can hope for a caution within the next couple of laps, but that'll be his best chance, I think.
Yeah, if he gets a caution right now, he could stay out and take the wave around and be out there on a couple lap older tires.
But what will work out in his benefit is that Fagone is on extremely aging tires right now, and a lot of drivers are unlapping themselves now as they pass him.
Yes, Davis Richards just unlapped himself, so now David Weishart is the first one lap down.
And also, Travis McDaniel, which remember it was about a 12-second gap when Fagone got the lead. That 12-second gap is now down to less than 4, actually about 3 seconds now. McDaniels is on a mission on those fresh tires.
Yeah, he's about a second a lap quicker than Fagone. So probably, yeah, should be up there in about 3 laps.
And then what does Fagone do in the 20? He's obviously on a strategy ploy. Is his best bet to pit as soon as he gets passed? Or does he play this out and just try to see where he shakes out?
I think at this point he has to be committed to his strategy. So
what is his strategy?
Very early pitting, I guess. I mean, it worked out for him for a little while. Once, if he makes it to lap 100, which obviously he should, he would just have to go to about 67 laps, which holding that strategy with 1 more pit stop in between.
Yeah, so he's on maybe a 2-stop strategy, but let's look at a Travis McDaniel, who should be your leader in a couple laps. He's only been on the circuit for 11, as we will pull up our graphic here, let you know how long these drivers have been on the racetrack for.
So he could probably do a 1-stop from here on out.
If McDaniels goes another 30 laps, that'll put him about lap 120. That gives him pretty much 2 40-lap runs to the end, so that's pretty good position to be in. So it's pretty much 2-stop for the 20, but everybody else is pretty much in position for 1-stop.
I think I like McDaniel's position right now.
Yeah, I think he's got, yeah, absolutely. I think.
And here comes Fagone.
Here he comes.
Right on lap 100.
Right as he's about to get past.
So we'll see how that works out for him. Sticking with his strategy right now.
So the way that I see it now, guys, is that McDaniel is going to pretty much be on a 40-lap run to the end once he pits. And Fagone is going to be on a 30-lap run to the end. So is that 10-ish lap window going to be enough to gain all of that lost time on the extra stop?
No.
I'd have to agree with Evan on this one. I really don't think he'll have the opportunity to get back up there, but it could come to a surprise to us. I mean, he had a very large gap for the lead last time, so you know, what's us not to think that the same thing could happen, and could he hold off for the lead? It'll all come down to the end of this thing.
I mean, I know from my experience, I've done a race a mile and a half with extreme tire wear, and I went with the strategy of kind of what McDaniels is doing, where you stay on the track longer. You might lose the time during the pit cycle, but you save the time on the one less pit stop. And I almost got caught by the fresh tires, but I probably had about a 2 to 3 second buffer. So I'm also leaning more on the side of this, but I'm not completely discounting that strategy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am, unless there's a caution.
And the pessimist in the booth is
Yeah.
Evan Black.
Yeah, right? You just gotta believe, Evan. You gotta believe.
If there's a caution at the right time, he's going to be in very good position, but he has to catch the caution at the right time.
You have to believe.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Copyright. But we do actually have a battle for position right now, guys, and that battle for position is actually looks like it has already concluded. Joseph Begorder in the 32 and the 72. Jason O'Connor, haven't mentioned him at all tonight. This is now for the third position, rather.
Yep, so
72.
those guys have kind of wrapped up their battle here.
So now that things have fizzled out just a little bit, we will step away for that side-by-side break. So again, stay with us. We'll cut back if anything happens, but we'll be back shortly.
I grew up in Northern California, and my parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to, sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run, about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and, put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinzer. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from 9th leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun, where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there, where sprint cars you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, as a rookie on there, in the Legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now. So I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time.
And we're back to racing here on PTR TV, Rivalry Racing League at the Texas Motor Speedway. We have concluded 110 laps of the race. We have Travis McDaniel as your leader right now. There's been a huge shakeup in the field. We had about 15 truck incident lap 40 or so. We've had David Weishart be in a incident here tonight. So up front now, McDaniel about up by 10 seconds over Brandon Stokes.
And McDaniel's only pulling away from Stokes.
At David Weishart is in the picture, guys. I can see him right behind McDaniel right now, so he will be able to unlap himself. Remember, he had to use that fast repair with that incident with Garrett Grant. The other storyline we were following, guys, is Ricky Fagone in the 20. Remember, he was leading and had to pit early because of the strategy he's on, lost a lot of time, but he has just unlapped himself, so he is on the lead lap yet again, and he needs to go as fast and as aggressive as he can. Remember, he needs an extra pit stop. Everybody else is taking one less stop out of the race. He has an extra one.
Weishart getting close to unlapping himself. And once he does, he'll be praying for a caution.
Weishart was about 7/10 faster at this point than McDaniel, given the tire situation between those two machines.
Yeah, so David Weishart gonna try to put himself back on the lead lap. These guys were just talking about, and once he gets there, yeah, as Evan said, he's gonna have to pray for a caution, and hopefully he can just, you know, avoid altogether having to be waved around.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame, guys. We saw on that first run, it was very interesting to see Weishart.
Oh boy!
Weishart pulled out by a huge lead, and then McDaniels ran him down on the long run. We kind of lost the long-term battle there with how things shaked out, but here comes Weishart to the inside. He will now be back on the lead lap, currently in the 7th position. But obviously with the strategy he's on, with his circumstances, I think he still needs another pit stop as well. So again, it's going to be caution or bust for the number 21.
Yeah, absolutely. Ran into an unfortunate break there, getting into the 42 machine of Garrett Grant when he got up into the outside wall, but trying to fight his way back around. And yeah, as these guys have been saying, we do need one more caution at least for him to get back on track here. But right now, Travis McDaniel in the number 2 machine out front of this thing with a pretty good lead so far.
Yeah, almost a 10-second lead for McDaniel over the 11 of Stokes, who is in 2nd.
While you guys have brought up that, we'll might as well do a little bit of a through the field at this point. Currently, as we said, as your leader is Travis McDaniel. Brandon Stokes in the 2nd position. Robert Victory running in 3rd. Joseph McCorder running in the 4th spot. Going in the 5th position. David Weishart up to the 6th spot. And Brooks Potts in 7th. Chris Heidenfaden in 8th. Evan?
Got Davis Richards in 9th. Phil Gary in 10th. Jason O'Connor in 11th. Matthew Wilsenbach in 12th. Garrett Grant in 13th. Bryant Ward in 14th. Richard Holland in 15th. Brandon?
In 16th currently, it's going to be, well, a couple of guys that are currently out of the race. Tim Rossetto, Mike Taylor, Patrick Howard, and rounding out the field in 19th is Ched Martin. Ched Martin currently is on the racetrack, so is Patrick Howard, but have not quite been able to catch the other guys. Patrick Howard is 59 laps down. Ched Martin is 61 laps down.
And actually, they will manage to gain 2 positions. They will pass Rossetto and Taylor.
Yes, absolutely.
And maybe Holland. Holland is still in pit road. He's still in the race, but he hasn't been back on track. Back out on track yet.
Yeah, Holland is currently 47 laps down, now 48, so they should be able to catch him as well.
There's a chance that those drivers can get up to the 15th position at the maximum. So I mean, every point matters. We know that. Not every driver has the luxury of already being locked into the playoffs, which we know those drivers are. Travis McDaniel with his win, Weishart with his 2 wins, and Holland with his win at Dover. So those 3 drivers are locked in to the championship round. But as it stands right now, McDaniels is just going to get himself that extra win, those extra bonus points, because the race is in his favor right now, but still a lot of racing to go.
McDaniel can probably pit from here and make it, I would think.
That'd be the longest run he has had this race. That'd be 45 to 46 laps, depending which one he does pit on. So I think he's going to probably stretch it to about 130 and maybe make it a more manageable run.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, still got quite a few laps to go. We're obviously well under 100 to go now, and under 50, around 50 to go now, I believe. But yeah, so definitely gonna want to kind of stretch it out a little bit more. But I'll tell you guys, the pit strategies being played here have been very interesting. Now, trying to keep track of where the 20 machine is right now. Ricky Fergond, he's currently back there in 4th place, trying to gain some positions on these guys.
But the issue right now is he's only running 0.2 of a second quicker.
Yeah.
And he's got about 15 lap fresher tires.
Yeah, he needs to be going full bore, running almost a half, 3/4 of a second faster a lap, and as you guys said, he's not doing that. Last time by, he was barely 0.2 of a second faster, and he is 27 seconds off the lead, so his strategy is going to be completely a fail unless we get a caution.
And what did I say, Corey?
To be honest, I don't remember.
It's not going to work unless he gets a caution?
Oh, you probably did say that.
Man, oh man, Brandon Stokes just had to get through a gaggle of cars right there. I thought he was going to end up getting wrecked, had to take it almost 4 wide around a couple of guys. Now a couple of guys trying to get around him, possibly on fresher tires. So good job by Stokes for getting through that mess of trucks there.
There is the 68 by him with fresher tires.
Bill
It's
Gary.
not 4 position.
Bill Gary in the 68 running in the 8th position, started 10th. So gained a couple positions has Phil Gary. See here on the comers and goers list, the highest moving driver in the race thus far has been Brooks Potts, up 10 positions from his starting spot. Also worth noting, the 11 of Brandon Stokes up 7 spots, and at the moment with his issue he had off turn 2, Weishart down 5, so he is the biggest loser of the race at the moment. But again, anything can happen in 42 laps of action.
And yeah, we've seen, I think, pretty much anything and everything so far on this channel, and seems like it's been something new almost every week. So, yeah, adding to that statement, anything can definitely happen.
David Weishart is about to get by Joseph McWhorter for the 5th position, and McWhorter is coming down pit road now.
Porter has a very quick, it looked like, to the cone there. I think he made it, but it'd be a tight call. But a very up and down day for the 32. He's shown signs of speed. He led some laps, but he's also had some significant damage to that number 32 truck as well.
Looks like he did make pit road speed, so he did a pretty nice job there of getting the most he could.
And he just used his new truck. I just saw some immediate repairs to it, so he has just used his backup truck on lap number 127.
Here comes McDaniel halfway
and Weishart
through this run.
Weishart trying to stay on the same strategy as the 32, as the 2 machine rather. So both on pit road at the same time.
Yeah, and kind of once again hoping for a caution after everything cycles through, I'm sure, is David Weishart.
As well as Stokes coming
And
down
look at
pit road.
Weishart, completely missed his stall. Had to back up about 4 feet, and that will, again,
that'll really hurt him.
I wonder if that'll allow McDaniel to get out in front of him.
And that would put him a lap down, and here
It's
comes
gonna be
the
close.
No, not quite.
Weishart still able to hang on there after that little bit of a pit bobble. He will stay on the lead lap.
So now will McDaniel try to put the 21 lap down, knowing that it's his biggest competition? Or will he just ride behind him?
I think at this point he needs to just think long term, and he just will think for the race that he doesn't have competition as long as everything runs the way it is. So I would,
as long as there's no caution, McDaniel is the favorite.
There's no reason to burn your stuff off on a chance when you can just ride it out, and just, if it happens, then you know you're gonna have to get on the wheel a little bit more.
Here comes the 20 machine of Ricky Fagond.
So Fagond, obviously that strategy he was, well, we kind of thought he was going to be on, didn't really come to fruition, so he's just merging in with the rest of the drivers, so any chance he had to win the race, at least on that strategy, is gone.
Unless there's a caution.
Unless there is a caution, indeed.
Which we've seen some pretty strange things happen, especially if the field is spread out, so you never know, but I'm not really expecting to see one.
Weishart is on the mission. He's running about 0.4 of a second quicker than McDaniel.
Yeah, remember these guys are on the same tires now. They pitted at the same time. So, but something that Weishart has to be careful of is not to burn his stuff off too early.
Well, for him, it's not really going to matter too much, because there's no way he's going to win this race unless there's a caution. So he just needs to go as hard as he can and try and get as far away from McDaniel as he can, so he doesn't go lap down.
And he is in position to gain some spots naturally at this point. There's actually two right in front of him, McWhorter and Fagone, so he should be faster than both of them.
And he's got a little bit fresher tires than McWhorter.
He'll have Brandon Stokes about 12 seconds ahead. But we also have Jason O'Connor in the 72 up there, who is due for another stop. So in all reality, guys, I'm pretty sure Weishart can at least get up to third just on his own pace.
He can for sure get to fourth. Getting to third, that's going to be a little bit tough. He's going to have to gain about 12 seconds. Actually, no, because O'Connor saw us going to pit road.
See, Corey knows what he's talking about sometimes. Well, O'Connor, he's been out for 24 laps at this point, so
yeah, so
that'd be
definitely in need of some pit stops.
Yeah, that'd be a 50.
He could maybe make it,
but would he really want to, and would it actually be beneficial to him?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it would work out for him maybe the way. I mean, it's physically possible, but he'd be losing so much time that he'd be better off just coming to pit road and just doing what he can do with those fresher tires.
So, looks like everything almost cycled through completely now. Actually, everything is cycled through completely. Travis McDaniel back out front.
Just incredible, guys. Again, we've seen a lot of dominating efforts here in the Rivalry Racing League this season, mainly by Weishart, but with Weishart's issues, it's just naturally gone to Travis McDaniel here tonight. Has dominated ever since that issue and that big wreck that happened. And I mean, at this point, he doesn't want to get too excited, because you know at this point in the race, when you have a huge lead, you're almost just waiting for something to go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, the last thing McDaniel needs right now is a caution.
And we will have, again, that battle for the fourth position. I think it has already completed itself, as Fagone has managed to get to fourth, McWhorter down to fifth, who has Weishart. This is the battle for the fifth position here off of turn number 2.
I think Weishart has kind of burned his stuff up a little bit.
And we'll kind of do a little battle tracker between McWhorter and Weishart right now. And McWhorter was 2/10 slower last time by, but we'll wait for that to update as they cross the stripe. And he was only about a 1/10 and a half. Actually, about almost 2/10 faster that time was Weishart again. But catching him's one thing, passing him's another. He's going to have to use a little more of that truck to get by, but actually it might be a little easier than we predicted. He's going to take a dive into the inside of turn number 3. McWhorter to the top of the racetrack, and Weishart will clear with relative ease.
So what was that, Corey?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna. I thought there was gonna be more of a fight put up by the 32, but I think he just kind of let him go and said, "Just do what you can do. I'm just gonna try to ride cleanly and finish this race out."
So that'll move Weishart into the 5th position. Now gonna have his eyes set on the number 20 machine ahead of him, Quick Fagond.
Yeah, Fagond is about 1.2 seconds ahead of Weishart at the moment, rather about 2 seconds actually. So with the pace that he's running, let's use the battle tracker yet again. Fagond was about a 1/10 and a half, almost 2/10 faster than Weishart last lap by, but we'll see what it is this time, and we'll see if Weishart can gain another position as we still wait for the 72 to come to pit lane.
And he's on pit lane right now, or he's on his way to pit lane. Down on the apron in 3 and 4.
So Jason O'Connor onto pit lane. That will move Stokes into the 2nd spot, and that will move Fagond into 3rd. And Fagond was actually faster by about a 1/10 last time than Weishart.
Yeah, so Weishart, questionable, may or may not be able to get there. He's gonna have to push for it, I think. Incredible comeback either way, though, guys, from David Weishart. He was 1 lap down with some pretty major damage onto that race truck. Came in for a quick exchange of vehicles there for his backup truck and went back out there 1 lap down and made his way back up so far to the 4th position.
Yeah, I know. I was not expecting that. I thought he would have been fired back maybe a further lap down and stuck at the latter half of the top 10, but he has managed to drive his way to a still very respectable finish if it ends the way it is. But
Travis McDaniel now up to almost an 18-second lead over Stokes.
But guys, as I kind of looking here at the schedule for the Rivalry Racing League, we just finished Phoenix. We're on to Texas this week, obviously, but look where we head next week. We're heading to the road course at Watkins Glen. So we'll see. We know there's a lot of times that someone who you don't expect is the one that can manage to tame the road courses. So I'll tell you, I'm curious to see if trends continue and who can tame the Watkins Glen International.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be most of the time we see a whole different class of drivers up front of the road courses, so that should be interesting for sure, and possibly a wild card driver into the playoffs.
Yep, and then later in the schedule, we will go to tracks such as Iowa Speedway, Darlington, Charlotte Auto Club, Pocono, Kentucky, wrapping up at Atlanta Motor Speedway in mid-May. So all these races on PTR TV on Thursday evening. So, and if you like what you see, make sure you keep your Thursdays free. Enjoy this racing with us live as we have 22 laps to go, and it'll be 21 when McDaniels hits the stripe.
Yeah, so Travis McDaniel, 21 laps to go now, holding a solid lead out front as of right now, guys. Very impressive run from him today.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to see what would have happened between him and Weishart under natural conditions if we didn't have what we had happen, but I mean, that's racing. You kind of, stuff happens we don't expect, and You have to be ready for it. You have to do your best to avoid it and to make the best of what comes at you. And obviously, ever since those events happened with Weishart, he hasn't made a mistake. He hasn't put himself in any positions he doesn't need to be in, and he's about 2/3 of a lap ahead. He's off of turn number 2, and Brandon Stokes is just now coming off turn number 4.
Yeah, so very, very solid lead for McDaniel, and a couple other guys having a pretty good run here tonight. Brandon Stokes has had some unfortunate luck the last couple weeks here, so he's having a good run here tonight, as well as Ricky Fagone holding pretty strong considering what his strategy was, guys.
Yeah, and I'll, in regards to Brandon Stokes, he enters the race 8th in points, so a second will do wonders for him in gaining some points and maybe gaining some time in the standings. Ricky Fagone entered the points in the 7th position, so again, these top 5 runs will obviously do wonders to get you in the playoffs and to show what you're made of later in the season.
He gained some time in the points, Corey?
That's what it sounded like you said.
I respond with silence.
Well, I mean, I know I expect this thing to just kind of run out, these guys to kind of finish where they are. What are you guys expecting for the end of this thing?
I can expect it to run out and these guys to finish how they are. I don't think we'll see much change in position.
Now, right now, we were kind of observing a battle of Fagone and Weishart to see if it was going to shape out, but Fagone has pulled away by about 3 seconds. As you said, Weishart kind of, I think, burnt his stuff up there once he exited the pits at the same time as McDaniel.
Who said it was going to happen, Corey?
You guys think I remember what you said 50 laps ago?
What was said, Brandon? I don't even remember.
That Weishart was going to burn out his stuff, and he wasn't going to be able to make up any other position.
I know someone said that. I just didn't remember who it was.
I mean, I said he wouldn't get up to 3rd.
Well, you were right on that aspect.
I think we were all right in our little various aspects of...
I think we're all in our own little world here tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I think I've said that as many times as I possibly could tonight as well.
We need a counter for that.
What, the well?
Yeah.
And so, absolutely.
Oh, those would probably be in the 20s.
Yeah, probably. Not bad for...
You mean your finishing position in most races?
Oh.
Only on asphalt.
Roast.
But 15 laps to go here today, folks, and something we didn't get to introduce yet. We had a website before. It was primetimeracingtv.com, but unfortunately that has no longer worked, so we have a substitute website. You can check that out for information on the channel. A couple other things we will be adding to it. www.primetimeracing.tv, our new website. A little bit of a work in progress, but still proud of how it looks now, so have a look and check that out.
We got that fancy .tv.
Yeah, I
it's
think I
nice.
like that better anyways.
It's all fancy.
Primetimeracing.tv. Sounds fancy.
Fancy indeed. With your pinky out.
So now that we've got sidetracked enough,
apparently, Weishart is still about 3 seconds behind Fagone. If anything, actually about 3.4 seconds now. So that battle will not be happening most likely.
yeah, he's pulled away. Things very spread out right now. Folks, something I did want to mention, tomorrow night, the Hardline Racing League is back with their newly sponsored Cup Series, the Midwest Power Source Cup Series, and it'll be my partners in crime, Corey and Evan, in the booth tomorrow night, so should be a good show. It's their duel at Daytona tomorrow night, so be on the lookout for that one.
Well, all three of us are going to be in the booth tomorrow night?
No, I won't be here. That's why I said my partners in crime will be in the booth tomorrow night.
Pay attention, Corey.
Yeah.
So, just a handful of laps to go here, guys. About
9 laps.
Is it 11? Yeah.
Or no, 11 laps.
11 laps.
Math is hard.
math is difficult.
Math and English are hard.
Yep. Not my greatest assets through high school, but I'm out of high school, so what does it matter?
Exactly.
Back in my day, we grew up saying that you had to memorize stuff because you wouldn't have a calculator in your pocket at all times. You would actually have to think, but we've seen how times change.
Wrong.
Yeah. So down to 10 laps to go.
Oh yeah,
for your leader.
don't get me going on a millennial speech. So let's get back to the race right now.
Travis McDaniel, we're gonna pull Corey away from that topic.
That'll be up for Monday night, so stay tuned for Corey ranting about millennials and how the world is coming to a horrible turn.
I'll tune in for that.
As Corey tells me every time, me being a millennial. You know what they say.
Stay off. Grab a flip phone and play Nintendo 64.
Flip phone?
What's a flip phone?
Again, all right, stay tuned for Monday night.
Yeah, it'll be a good show. Trust me.
But up front, the lead, which was about 16 seconds, then we observed it at 19 seconds. It is now 21 seconds. 21-second lead on an oval. I cannot really fathom the last time that something like that has occurred, but that is indeed the case right now here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, Travis McDaniel, very, very impressive run here tonight, and absolutely incredible. I haven't seen a lead like this in a very long time myself. It's very rare to come by now.
Brandon, I have a question. Have you ever had one of those leads like that?
It's very rare for me to have a lead, period. At least on the asphalt side, I mean. More of a dirt guy myself, but
I like how Corey Silva is leading the point standings in a PTR TV affiliate partner league, but it's not broadcasted, so I can't boast about it too much. But
I mean, I've battled through adversity in that series.
Well, on the back straightaway, someone is really loose.
Yeah, I saw that.
Davis Richards.
My eye.
Go back.
Man, oh man.
He's pushed out of turn number 2, got in the wall a little bit. And
what a save.
Yeah, he did a really nice job to hang on to that race car truck.
All right, so that'll wake us up a little bit.
I will kind of catch that on replay for you guys here off turn number 2. See, he just got loose into the wall and kind of just swerved his way down the back straightaway, but very good job of driving to save that car. Truck.
Vehicle.
Thing.
Motorized, left turning, and sometimes right turning machine.
So, Travis McDaniel, I'm baffled by how big of a lead he actually has. And I don't know what else to say. I mean, yeah, it was just pointed out to us by our man behind the scenes. He's about a straightaway away from lapping second place.
Yeah, right now.
That's incredible.
Pretty much McDaniel is at the stripe now. Brandon Stokes is just coming off turn 2. So literally over.
That's absolutely me. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Over half the track.
Over 2/3 of a lap.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I don't think he has much to worry about right now, guys.
I mean, he has enough fuel in that truck. I mean, as long as the right front tire doesn't blow, as long as his internet connection stays stable, as long as his computer doesn't shut off. I mean, all three of those things.
I think he's all set.
all three of those things can happen. They've happened. I mean, I've had a couple happen to me over time, but
Yeah,
Have you ever blown a
mechanical
tire?
failure is, I have. It's
I
not
have.
fun.
I mean, I've had to purposely blow it, but I mean, I did blow a tire before.
It's not fun when it
Yeah,
happens when
it's
you're not
not fun.
expecting it.
See, Weishart actually, remember, he pulled away, significant gap ahead of McDaniel, but I think he will stay on the lead lap, but he is not too far ahead of McDaniel, so ultimately we didn't get to see the battle play out the way we had kind of hoped for, but I think the way it's been, the way we can kind of see the speed difference, I think the right man is pretty much going to win this race.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say so. McDaniel loose down off of turn number 2 there. He'll come around now through turns 3 and 4. Now on a turn 4, the white flag being displayed for Travis McDaniel. 1 lap to go at Texas.
1.54 miles around Texas Motor Speedway for Travis McDaniel here tonight. Absolutely dominating performance, one of the largest leads we have ever seen here in our time here on the iRacing.com simulator down the back straightaway for the final time.
Heading down into turn number 3, Travis McDaniel. Domination, just pure domination here tonight at the Texas Motor Speedway. He makes his way down off of turn number 4. Texas Motor Speedway, your race winner, Travis McDaniel, the Rivalry Racing National Championship Truck Series. Amazing job for him. We'll
Wait,
stay tuned.
Another 10 seconds.
Yeah, we have to wait for second and third to actually cross the stripe, which is a significant time here. Just now coming off turn number 4 to cross the line for second is going to be Brandon Stokes. And then a little behind him just now, we can conclude our third place finisher, Ricky Fagone. So we're going to step away here and get these guys ready for post-race interviews. So stay tuned and we'll be right back with you.
A lot, so it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. I mean, you've got thousands of drivers on there that, you know, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it, but can kick butt on there, and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself, you know, really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable, really, on there. I mean, everybody's been asking for dirt on there for forever. So when they announced it, I got really, really excited. And honestly, it's blown my expectations away. The cars, to me, drive really good when the track's hooked up. The visual part of the racetrack changing is amazing. How you can run some laps and see it start to get shiny, and then you feel it getting, you know, slick. You know, areas of the racetrack getting dirty, and then, you know, you get some cars run through there and it cleans off and gets grip back. It's nuts. You know, the tear-off feature is really cool. You know, watching the wing move backwards and forwards. I run with the virtual reality headset too, so being able to like look down and see everything, it looks extremely realistic. So yeah, it blew my expectations away. And it's only gonna get better, really.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the post-race show here tonight on PTR TV. Domination from your winner here tonight, Travis McDaniel. But starting out with the first round of driver interviews, Evan Black, I believe, is caught up with your third-place finisher, Ricky Fagone.
So, Ricky, you come home with a third-place finish here tonight at Texas. What are your thoughts after this race?
Well, that was a good race. I know I got to give a shout out to George Bach. I know he was in the up on top of the box spotting for us today, and kind of sat down and come up with a strategy and maybe trying to work the short pit a little bit. But I think with the amount of laps that had passed, it kind of wasn't quite enough time to pull it off, but I still managed to get a top 3 finish, and I'm tickled to death with that.
So coming into this race, the last time we were out on a 1.5 miles, it went caution free. Did you kind of expect that coming into this race?
Well, yes. I mean, the group we got here is pretty respectable. Everybody was giving everyone plenty of room. The lap cars were kind of going their lane. I know I kind of run the bottom a little bit there and made people go around the outside, but at that point I was the leader, so it's my decision as to which lane I want to go with. But it was a good race. I know Texas is one of my favorite tracks, and I usually run a little better, but I know iRacing has done a lot with the track, and it just seems like the truck, it drives a lot different than what I always remember it being.
All right, well, is there anyone you would like to thank or give a shout out to?
Yeah, George Bark again. Appreciate it, buddy, for taking your time, hanging out with us, and got to thank all the teammates, and got to thank Travis there. Congratulate him on his win. You know, he's probably beating himself up there for causing that big wreck at the beginning, but that's part of racing. That stuff happens, and as long as he owns it, I'd say that I see no problem with it. But thank him, thank you guys for broadcasting this. I know I've enjoyed all your races. You do a great job putting them together, and I enjoy listening to the guys up in the booth.
Yeah, thanks for that. It's a lot of fun being up here broadcasting these races, and once again, congrats on your 3rd place finish, and thanks for talking with us.
Alrighty, thank you, fella.
Now, Corey Silva will talk to 2nd place finisher Brandon Stokes.
All right, Brandon, a 2nd place finish, a hard-fought battle, a long run here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. Talk about your race and ultimately what led you to finish 2nd tonight.
Well, those first few runs there were kind of rough on me. Truck would turn for nothing. After that big wreck there, it kind of took the front runners out a little bit. But once the track got rubbered in and we got going, it was pretty fast, and overall it was a good day.
And do you think if there was by chance any magical caution at the end that you may have had any kind of pace from McDaniel at all?
On them short runs there, I think so. I think if we would have got a little caution there at the end, I think I would have been able to give him a run for his money, or at least tried to. But he had the field covered today, for sure.
Yeah, most certainly, but still nothing wrong with a 2nd place finish. He entered the race 8th in points, so obviously a 2nd place is going to do you wonders in that category. So what do you want to give a shout out to, man, for tonight's action and help drivers who maybe help you out?
I'd like to give a shout out to my girlfriend Makeeng for allowing me to do this. My family that's watching, mom and dad, hey. And a buddy of mine, Jack Bellasier, he's been helping me with some setups on a couple different cars and just working together and all that. And I appreciate everybody's help.
All right, so again, congrats on your finish, man, and we'll catch you next week at the road course.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Not a problem, and that is 2nd place, and now your winner tonight, Travis McDaniel, will be spoken to by Brandon Krutz.
Yeah, he's out of the race car now down here in victory lane. Your winner here tonight at the Texas Motor Speedway, Travis McDaniel. Travis, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good after that run. That was a pretty solid run there.
Absolutely amazing run here. Domination, just pure domination here tonight. If you had more laps, you probably could have lapped 2nd place, just about a straightaway ahead of you there. Tell us a little bit about your night.
Well, I was hoping it was going to go long on long green flag runs. I knew I'd be fast in. I'm never really fast on these short runs. I don't practice that. I practice these long runs. Got around David there, that first pit stop, slid through the pit box, got back to 3rd, and then we had a couple guys on 2 tires, and I got back into the back end of Richard there, and that's my fault, and caused that huge pile up. And it's unfortunate. We had a lot of strong trucks that weren't able to continue, and hate it for those guys, and trust me, it wasn't on purpose. But overall, once we got around that, David had his misfortunes with his teammate there, I was able to set sail.
Yeah, absolutely amazing job here tonight. Was there any challenges along the way there tonight?
Well, once I slid through the pit box and David got out there, I knew chasing him back down would be tough. I felt like after 25 laps I was faster and probably could run him back down, but it's a whole lot easier when he started out in front of him. And then when he got out, he pitted a lap before me. He got 3 seconds on me there, and luckily his teammate decided to end his night. So that was unfortunate for him, but that was pretty much the only challenge after that. We're in about 80 laps after that, no problem.
Well, yeah, once again, just pure domination here tonight. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank or give a shout out to?
Yeah, thank y'all for broadcasting it. I'd like to thank these guys in this race who stuck around when they had wrecked trucks. They didn't have to, and they did. And appreciate that. And give a shout out to family and friends that are watching. Thank God I was able to get another win, put this Florida State Chevy in victory lane again.
Well, awesome job tonight, Travis. Your winner here at the Texas Motor Speedway, Travis McDaniel.
All right, so that is your post-race show here tonight at the Texas Motor Speedway. Congrats to the winner, and we'll finish up coverage tonight with the final results here at Texas Motor Speedway. With the win was Travis McDaniel in the 2 machine, leading 75 laps here tonight. Brandon Stokes in second, Ricky Fagone in third. David Weishart leading 63 laps, manages to get himself back up to the 4th spot. And then we have Joseph McOrder in 5th, Robert Victory in 6th, Bill Gary in 7th, Jason O'Connor 8th, Brooks Potts 9th, and Chris Seidenfaden in the 10th position.
And then Davis Richards finished in the 11th position, Matthew Wilson back in 12th, Bryant Ward in 13th, Garrett Grant in 14th, Patrick Howard in 15th, and then rounding out the rest of the field, Richard Allen in 16th, Shed Martin in 17th, Tim Rossino in 18th, Mike Taylor rounding out the field in 19th.
So that is your field rundown for tonight. Give a quick shout out to our channel sponsors. Without them, we couldn't make this thing happen. Starting out with Air Movement Fabrications, a family-run business formally established in 2012. With over 25 years of experience in the ventilation industry, they offer a wide range of services. This includes ducting, ventilation, extraction, and canopies. If you're in the Nottingham, UK area, Air Movement Fabrications is a ventilation service to trust. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Based out of upstate New York, Krutz Custom Graphics is always P1. Also, iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, custom graphics, coding, and theme design for iRacing's 2 main overlay systems, ATVO and IRTVO. If you're a broadcast company looking to make your channel shine with custom overlays, talk to Jason Allison with iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon to keep broadcast quality high and costs low for league owners. We need a little help from the fans. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a patron, you'll get rewards that vary depending on how much you donate. Become a patron at patreon.com/PTRTV. Also, huge shout out to our camera specialist here, TrackCams for Gourmet, bringing you all the sweet views here tonight. Check him out at trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams.
So that's another broadcast here on PTR TV. We brought you the Rivalry Racing League, 250 miles at the Texas Motor Speedway. Stay tuned tomorrow night, season opener for the Hardline.
That is another broadcast here with us tonight. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe for more of our racing action. Stay tuned tomorrow night for the Hardline Racing League, their duel at Daytona tomorrow night. So, from me, myself, Brandon Krutz, Corey Silva, and Evan Black, Joe Chris behind the scenes, we wish you a good night and see you next time.
Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.